Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and this is Birch and Lily, my podcast about knitting and cross stitch. There are two places that you can find me on the internet. The first is on Instagram at birch.and.lily and the second is on Ravelry at Birch and Lily. If you have any questions about what I talk about today, please feel free to check out my show notes down in the description. And if I've missed something, I'm always happy to answer a question for you guys, so feel free to ask me down below. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. If you have been watching me for a while, if this is your first time, I hope you enjoy. And again, thank you for joining me. So let's jump in. First of all, I just wanted to say I hope you're doing well. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're not going too crazy self-quarantined. I know this is a crazy time right now, and I'm going a little crazy self-quarantined. I think I'm going to have to start a new project today just to, I don't know, make myself feel a little better, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I hope you're all healthy and I hope you're all doing well. And yeah, I guess let's jump into finished objects. I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently this time. I decided to try mixing the knitting and cross stitch together. So we'll see how this goes. If you like it, let me know down below. If you don't like it, let me know too. But I just thought it would be kind of nice to have everything mixed up and not have two so separate sections of stuff. So we'll see how that goes. The first finished object I have is my Branches Socks. This is a pattern by Amanda Jones. It is published in the 52 Weeks of Socks book by Linea Magazine. And here they are. So I had spoke a little bit about these last episode. I cast on 64 stitches for these on 2.25 millimeter needles. The pattern does call for a 2.5, but the 2.25 is what I like, and I'm glad I switched to them. That is a US one. I used Woolberry Fiber Co. for these socks. This is the Miss Patty's Founders Day Punch colorway, which was a Gilmore Girls sock club. And yeah, I really like these. They fit super snug in the leg for being a full lace pattern. I'm very impressed with that. The only complaint I have, and like I said, I had talked about this last time, is the heel. Usually I will do a different heel flap and gusset. I don't know what, or I guess it's the turn that's the issue. And I don't know what the different turn is called. I just do it. But this one ends up very square. And if you can see, it doesn't fit very tight to the heel. And so it gives me this awkward little bunchy section when I have them on. So like even if I pull them a little bit tighter, they're not too bad, but it still doesn't fit me perfectly right. So whatever, I know I've tried it. I know now that that is an issue and I won't do it again. Easy. I have my heel turn that works and I will use that on every sock. I like knitting all these socks, I think partially because I can try different things out and figure out what works best for me. So that was a test. It's okay, they fit fine, but I definitely know now that this heel turn is not my type of heel turn. Good to know. So yeah, these are gorgeous. If you have the 52 Weeks of Socks book, I highly recommend knitting these. I love them so much. And yeah, they will be going into my Gilmore Girls sock set box of socks. It is like my favorite thing ever to fold these up and put them into my little sock thing that's in my closet there. And so they're done and blocked and I have to sit here and wait until I can show them on the podcast before I can put them in there. So I am very excited to pop these socks in there. I've been waiting for like a week. They've been done for about a week. And I have another pair of finished socks. These are my Luminary Socks, a pattern by Helen Stewart. This pattern is currently part of the Handmade Sock Society 3. If you haven't joined that, I highly recommend. Helen is releasing a new sock pattern every month for the next 6 months. The next one comes out next week, and I am very excited to cast it on. I have yarn all ready to go for it. But they are complete. These flew off the needles. The pattern is very simple. There's these little knot stitches, and then just this is just knit 2 togethers and slip knits to get this little zigzag cable-y type thing going on. These are 64 stitches as well. I did a 1x1 twisted rib on them. The pattern did call for the 1x1 twisted rib. Just a slip stitch, heel flap and gusset. This pair does have the type of heel turn that fits me perfectly. You can see how well it fits onto the sock blocker here. And this is a rounded toe. The instructions are included in the pattern. This is also, I don't know if I said, a Woolberry Fiber Co. Gilmore Girls sock set. This is in the colorway Will You Just Stand Still on her berry sock base. Or there, I guess. Her and her husband Reese are both dying now. But yeah, very happy with these as well. They will be going into my Gilmore Girls box of socks. Okay, like I said, I'm going to be mixing up knitting and cross stitch. So I actually have a cross stitch finished object. I have been working on this like a madwoman the past couple weeks since the last podcast. I think being in social distancing has made me just want to do stuff for myself. I have 2 designs on the needles. I've been terrible and I have not worked on them. But I worked really hard on this. I wanted to get it finished. I am so excited to get this framed and put up in our house. I'm not sure if I'm going to frame it myself. Sorry, I was looking at it there. I'm not sure if I'm going to frame it myself or if I'm going to take it to Michael's and have them frame it. I haven't even measured the finished size of it yet to figure out if I can do a standard frame or like what I'll end up doing with that. But this is Love Abide by La-Di-Da. I have it clipped up on a hanger here. Let's see. Hopefully you can see all of it there, because I can't see a thing. But yeah, this is Love Abide by La-Di-Da. Oh, here, let's do it this way. Maybe not. There we go. Love Abide by La-Di-Da. I stitched this on 36 count Patriots Brew. I know that is not the called for. I can't remember what the called for is, and I don't have it written in my notes. I did stitch it with the called for threads though, and I stitched 1 thread over 2 linen strands. And it is absolutely gorgeous. I tried to iron it. I obviously did a poor job, but you could still tell what's going on here. So my apologies for the slight wrinkles, but I could just hold this up here forever. This is the biggest project I have ever finished, and I'm so proud of it. And it is so my style. I don't even know where I'm going to put it in the house, but it deserves a spot of honor. And yeah, that is Love Abide by La-Di-Da. If you like this pattern, I highly recommend stitching it. There are very few half stitches, very few back stitch. Most of it is just cross stitch. I should mention that when I did this, I was very ambitious and I stitched the 1 and the 9 in a different color to say that I finished this in 2019, which I did not. It's 2020. But my husband had the wonderful idea. We moved into this house in 2019, and so I'm going to leave it that way to remember us moving into our very first house that we owned ourselves. So yeah, that's the plan. It's staying that way. I'm not ripping it out. No one needs to know. So that was my final finished object. And let's jump into whips. I don't have tons of stuff to show you from what I've worked on the past couple weeks because, like I said, I was putting all of my work into Love Abide. Now I'm fiddling with a tassel on my bag. So yeah, all my attention was put into Love Abide. So I really didn't do a lot of other stuff. I did get some knitting done, obviously, because I finished 2 pairs of socks. But once I got into the mode with Love Abide, that was all I wanted to work on. So I didn't work on all of the projects that I have cast on, but I worked on some. The first pair of socks that I have to show you, I cast on maybe last week. They are from the 52 Weeks of Socks book by Linea magazine, and they're really pretty, and I almost have the first sock done. Yeah. I have these in one of my favorite Birch Grove bags, perfect for holding a pair of socks. So these are the Vervain Socks. I'm going to look at my notes because the designer's name is gorgeous, but I'm bad at pronouncing. So I'm going to say Sachiko Burgin. I hope I said that right. I'm really sorry if I didn't. But yeah, these are the Vervain Socks. I am knitting these on 2.25 millimeter needles, which is a US one, and 63 stitches. You cast on 63, eventually you increase to 64. But they're absolutely beautiful. So there's this little bit of a modified 1x1 twisted rib. The pattern calls for a 1x1 rib, not a twisted rib, but I did twisted. As I've said before, I just like how that looks better. My 1x1 rib is quite loose. And yeah, so there's this gorgeous lace panel running down the side. On the next sock, it'll be on the opposite side, so that they're mirrored to each other. And I have my slip stitch heel flap and gusset in there. This has a turn that I like. I don't know why I'm saying that because I don't even know what it's called, so I will stop saying that. But yeah, I'm almost on the foot on these, which is crazy. This yarn is from Woolberry Fiber Co. It is another one of the Gilmore Girls sock sets. This one is called Oi with the Poodles already, on their berry sock base. I apologize if I'm stumbling over my words a lot. I should mention that we are self-isolating, social distancing, that's the word I was looking for. And so my husband's home from work and he's in the next room over, and I feel really weird recording right now because I know he can hear me, and he's on a meeting and I can hear them too. But I need to get a podcast up, so I'm doing it. But yeah, gorgeous socks, really enjoying them. Should have this one done. Maybe I can finish this one today. We'll see. But yeah, Vervain Socks by Sachiko Burgin. Hope I said that right. Okay, the next project I have to show you is a cross stitch project. I had cast this on last year for Mania, and I just pulled it out again now that I finished Love Abide. This is Berry Cottage, a pattern by Plum Street Samplers, and yeah, it is in a pretty southern bag. My favorite bags ever. I love having the clear front on cross stitch because I can easily tell what the heck I've put in there, especially since I find I work on cross stitch projects a lot longer than knitting projects. It's easy for me to be like, oh yeah, that's in there, I know what that is. Where with cross stitch, it's like, I haven't touched you in a while. What are you? And I know right away when I look at it. So for this project, I am using the called for threads. I am stitching 1/2 on a 36 count linen, but I am not using the called for linen. I believe it calls for a R&R linen. Is it Winter Brew? Patriots Brew. It calls for R&R Patriots Brew, but I couldn't find it at that point in time, so I replaced it with a 36 count light mocha. So there is Berry Cottage. Last time I'd worked on this, or I guess when I picked it up where it was, I didn't have any of these hills in, any of this green over on this side, and the house was only about half done. So I really feel like I've got a lot done. I picked this up yesterday, and that was all I was able to get done. Granted, this is basically all I worked on yesterday, and I'm self-isolating, so I have lots of time. I want to clean the house, but we are low on cleaning products and I don't want to use them for fear that we run out. I don't know. There's no cleaning products available anywhere right now, and I guess I want to save what we have. I should wipe stuff down with water though. Maybe some dish soap? That might work. Anyways, so yeah, this is Berry Cottage by Plum Street Samplers. I really think I can get this finished by next time. There really isn't much left. It's quite a small pattern. And this might be able to fit in an 8x10 frame, which would be awesome because then I can frame it myself. The next project I have is also a new cast on. You guys have not seen this yet. These are the Linea Socks, a pattern by Minna Sorvala. Yes. English. I'm never good at English. But yeah, Linea Socks. This is also a pattern from the 52 Weeks of Socks book from Linea magazine, and I have it in a bag from Sandy by the Lakeside. This sock, I am using another Woolberry Fiber Co. Gilmore Girls sock set. This one is Dragonfly in, and you're gonna be shocked. I'm knitting these toe up. I think I have always said I love cuff down socks. I don't like toe up socks, but I saw these socks in the book and I did not feel like trying to figure out how to knit them cuff down, so I cast them on toe up. So I used the Judy's Magic Cast On to cast these on. I started with 24 stitches, 12 on each needle, and increased all the way up to 64 stitches. And yeah, I've got a little bit of the patterning done there. Not tons. I did cast these on last night, so I didn't get a lot of work in on them, but they are gorgeous. I can't wait to get further and show you guys these. Like I said, I wouldn't have done toe up, but this pattern is so pretty that I just couldn't help myself. So I'm knitting these on my regular 2.25 millimeter US 1 needles, and I can't wait to see where they go. And I'm slightly nervous about putting in the heel. I have not done a pair of toe-up socks in so long, and I feel like there's a little bit more thinking involved to put in a heel on a toe-up pair of socks. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I don't have to rip it out a whole bunch. But yeah, I'm really excited to work on these and see where they go. Like I said, this is a short episode. I've really been quite monogamous in what I've been working on, but I did work on my vanilla socks a little bit this week. I brought them on a couple drives. They are in a Tiny Human Knits bag, and I am knitting these 2 at a time with 2 different self-striping sock colors, sock yarn colors, and they're tangled. There we go. So this here, this one with the sheep progress keeper on it, which shows I really did not get that much done. But I got some, so I can show you. This colorway here is 31. It is from Tiny Human Knits. And the cuff for this one is also a Tiny Human Knits mini skein. It was unnamed. She kindly gifted it to me with the self-striping yarn. And this is an 80/20 base. I don't think it has a name. It's just 2-ply fingering. And this one here, this mini, is from my Woolberry Fiber Co. Advent from 2018. And the self-striping colorway is Knitterly Things Vesper Sock in the colorway Lightning in a Bottle. So I have cast on both of these with 64 stitches and did a 2x2 rib. And yeah, I'm just gonna knit, 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 knit. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a heel flap and gusset or an afterthought heel on these. I guess we'll see where it takes me. But they're fun to pull out when I know I'm going to be on a drive and I don't really want to think. So yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about those. And that is all I have to show you guys. This is going to be a short episode. But I hope you guys still enjoyed it, even though it was short. And yeah, I hope you all stay healthy. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Enjoy all your extra crafting time while you're self-isolating. And yeah, take care. We'll see you next episode. Bye.